Alrighty.
Alright.
Welcome to One More Thing Podcast. Yay. Today we have.
Kelvin.
That's right.
JJ's Skittles.
I thought you were saying JJ's name. Yeah, but IG JJ's follow, subscribe. No lah, yeah. But yeah, so today is gonna be an interesting topic. But before we get into that, I always like to start with some little small chit chat. Usually start with a this or that, 10 questions of this or that. So
Nice.
basically, it's just to get to know you a bit better. I mean, I just found out he has a brother. I've known him for like more than 5 years. I just realized he has a brother. Cool shit.
It's okay, this stuff happens.
Yeah. But these are like more random stuff. But I think it also helps me to get to know how similar we are. Yeah. So let's get to it. The first one is always same across all my guests. Pineapples or no pineapples on pizza?
I will definitely go with pineapples.
Yes!
Grew
Correct,
up
correct.
eating Hawaiian
pizza.
That's
the
right.
shit. Don't care what other pizza is there. Attack the Hawaiian first.
Well, you know, even if you eat Hawaiian on like sweet and sour pork, it's like it tastes sweet, it's nice.
Yes.
I think it fits with pizza, so
Yeah,
yes.
hey, that's true. Those who don't like pineapple on pizza, then your sweet and sour pork, no pineapple, man.
Yeah, you eat pineapple by itself, it's like it's okay, what? It's like nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Next one, Apple or Android?
Hmm.
I know you just converted to Apple. So how's your experience so far?
Still Apple, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So actually, it was always a switching between, because I own a iPhone 6s back then.
Yes.
Yeah. Then for those who have been around SMU long enough, you know that there was this era of like person going around SMU stealing phones and things like that.
Oh yeah.
So I forgot when was it. Like,
So yours got stolen.
yes, mine got
Shit.
stolen during prac. Like, bags were behind and we facing in front.
Oh,
Why?
damn it.
Why would we? I don't know, man. Okay, but yeah. And then I just took my family's like free Huawei phone,
The unused one lah. Like a
unused
spare
one.
phone.
Yeah, spare phone, and just converted unwillingly, or like just went over to Android, and then Samsung. And then, hey, back here
Back to
with
Apple.
iPhone again. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
I had an Android as well last time. The Samsung, I don't even know what model was it. It was alright lah. It was just very simple to use, but it just lags every now and then. It's so frustrating.
Welcome to technology.
Alright, okay, next one. This is relates to you a lot because you take a lot of this. Bus or train?
Bus or train? Oh no. I think even though train is way more productive for me, but I will still pick bus.
Why?
Because nothing beats rainy,
Move.
cold bus rides.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I think got most vibes. Got more vibes. Train very hard to have vibes sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, okay, maybe if you are taking the the north south line, the go on top one, maybe you can still see outside a bit lah. But also see nothing much.
Yeah.
But this bus, like, you look out, you can see shit like a little bit more. To me, I like to sit on the bus and let you look out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
right.
Okay, next, reading a book or watching a movie.
Reading a book. I think I've had some. I think the most extreme I've gone into a book is like Liu Cixing's The Three Body Problem. So that was science fiction. First book was definitely very interesting, and then I continued on to second book. So I think that period when I started reading it, I was desperate to just find the next book and continue to borrow it from the library. So for the second book, because normally I teach most of my schools is Pasir Ris, right? So I will
Yes.
take the train ride all the way back
Oh.
to Pioneer. Productive train ride, yes.
Really, man, I always used to sleep on the train. I always doze
Productive
off.
train ride. Okay, so that was the most amazing experience I've had going into a book, because I don't know, time just flew by so fast, and
Yeah.
then it was way into the the book material, and then you can feel like the brain kind of working like on overdrive, partly feeling like, I don't know, like you're trying to solve a complicated like programming problem or something like that, but you're like way into the story, you're reading extra fast, and suddenly you just reach Pioneer.
Like you're just so like
Yeah, so
into what you're doing that
yes,
time flies and
the train ride felt like a cab ride. Yeah, so I haven't had a movie feel like that for me. I mean, there's a lot of amazing movies that have really, how to say, I always watch a lot of movies,
Yeah.
and I think I have a habit of trying to search for movies with like different types or like different ratings and things like that, and just trying to watch them all. I think,
yeah, I think it's
yeah.
different because movie everything is there for you to see, but for a book you need to create it in your mind, so you're more like you're in the moment, having to use your brain and be active. So I think it's
Yes.
different. Like movies, just sit down and enjoy it and just like okay, yay.
Yeah.
But reading, you gotta like be involved and create the story while the story is going.
Okay, but movie gives me way more emotions.
For sure.
I cannot really get these emotions from a book that much. I think it's very hard. I think
Yeah.
that's why we bring the question over to like manga versus anime.
Oh.
So I don't read manga. I know a lot of people appreciate that medium, or
Yeah.
they do both. But for me, I go like straight to anime because I want the whole thing with colors, with emotion, with music, and with a different pacing. Yeah, it helps to put the whole thing into a very different, immersive scenario.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool,
So
cool.
still book for
Still
me, I
books.
guess.
Wait, the Three Body did it come on Netflix?
Yes, it did. And then actually Netflix is a rushed and compacted version. But maybe you cater more because the pacing is faster,
Yeah.
it's easier to watch. But in China, Tencent also released their own version, which is way longer. Way longer with like majority Chinese characters, which which will fit into the setting a little bit more. Yeah, so I did not finish the Tencent one. I only watched like a few episodes.
It's like it's not what I read.
It's quite no. It's actually sticks closer to the story, but it's draggy. It's very draggy, and I haven't had the time. Okay,
Okay.
but I think because of how Netflix is, I binged the entire thing in one sitting. See, that's the difference. You can just finish the whole thing like
Yeah.
in a whole buffet, you know. But like the
Yeah.
Tencent one is like, okay, I have to eat this snack over the course of 1 month, and I'm just gonna pause eating it. Yeah, so
Nice.
check it out, everybody. I love
Three
the
body
the three
problem.
body problem. Yes,
Alright.
read it, read it.
Okay, next one. Hip hop or R&B?
R&B.
Ooh, I thought you pick hip hop.
No. Yeah. I mean, also depends on context lah. Like, you know, for like dance or for
Okay, for listening to music.
For listening, definitely R&B.
R&B got more feels.
Yeah, got more feels.
vibes.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Nike or Adidas?
Adidas.
I'm a Nike man all the way.
We'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel Adidas has more is more explorative in what they create.
I guess
Yeah.
I am not actually too into Adidas myself. Yeah, I started more with Nike shoes actually. Yeah, back when I first like
I should put a third option for you, or Puma.
yes, maybe definitely. Yeah. So started with Nike shoes. Adidas actually is like okay, like I think maybe back then when it was that period of like always dancing with Nike shoes and then it always spoiling.
Oh yeah,
Then,
yeah.
Yeah, like the low cut SB Dunks. That was the first few shoes. Then just move on to other brands after that. I guess maybe especially for house that period it was like Adidas Gazelle.
Yes.
So that's where it migrated a bit more to okay, let's get Adidas. You know, before okay Puma Suede and yeah. But interestingly, I actually spent more time because again read the book on Nike's backstory. What was it again? I forgot the name of the book. It's about the founder and how.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah. So very interesting. Yeah.
Nice. All right, next one. Superman or Batman as a superhero?
Superman or Batman? I think Batman.
Why Batman?
I don't know enough about Superman. I think I've seen more material on Batman.
Nice.
Yes.
Same, Batman. I just like Batman because he's rich.
Mm.
And he has no superpowers, but he's a superhero. That's quite sick.
Maybe the story connects more to our existing world.
Okay, next one. Okay, so I think I know the answer. Kopi or teh?
Kopi or teh? Teh.
Huh?
Where is like shocked.
What? I thought you would.
Big coffee.
Why?
He feels betrayed. Yeah, I think kopi has a lot of like things into it, and you can go into like all this, but like I think nowadays for like everyday life, it's like the kopi we drink is like for survival, and then the teh we drink is like for enjoyment. I think teh gives me a bit more of that feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if I was having a shag day or a tiring day, a teh peng will pick me up more than a kopi peng will.
Kopi will give you PTSD.
Kopi
Am I preparing for something?
No, kopi peng will help me to survive. But teh peng is like, okay, now you can rest. You've done your job. Yeah, that's the difference.
See. Okay, now I know. Shit, wow. See, you learn so much about this guy.
Hey, it
now.
may change. It may change in the future. You know. Yeah.
Okay, next one. Chill vacation or adventure vacation?
Adventure. Yeah, adventure.
Yeah, hearing your recent travels, like happenings. Yeah.
I feel that all these are still mainly like dance trips or like chill trips. Like Thailand was a chill trip because there wasn't too much dance events within that 1 week. That was the last week of May. Then Taiwan was the first week of June. Yeah, so dance trip and chill trips are like okay, like I've been on them often enough before throughout the past few years, but I think adventure trip is so different because it puts away all of your expectations and desires and leaves you more to accepting like what is available at that place. So it may not be things that you plan, it may not be things that you expect, but these things kinds of like come at you unexpectedly, and that's the thing that you remember most from going to a new place. It's the new things, whether good or bad. You know, it may not be oh, I really enjoyed my chill. It's like yes, but hello, back to work.
Yeah,
Kills it.
actually, that's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
true.
Yeah. So adventure
A
definitely.
bit more spontaneity.
Yes.
All right, last one. Coke or Sprite?
Is there no Pepsi?
Oh, you're a Pepsi person. I hardly find people who drink Pepsi here.
Yes. I think. I mean, aside from all the brands boycotting nowadays,
for sure.
yes, definitely. But talking about last time, I think grew up more with the KFC and Pepsi combination.
Gee.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just something that has a little bit more sugar in the Pepsi, maybe with the KFC. I don't know lah. but
Actually, now that I think about other drinks, I think I like Mountain Dew. Yeah, more than anything. But
Yeah. I never drank too much Sprite and Mountain Dew when I was younger. I think it's definitely more of the Pepsi and KFC combination.
yeah, I think Pepsi last time was the in thing.
Yes,
like what you
yes.
always get with KFC.
Yes.
Sick. All right, I think we are like at the 7 or 8 out of 10.
We are slow, right? We I go into a story with every this
It's
or that
okay.
question.
More info, the better.
Welcome to my life, guys.
Yeah, that's why I want to have you, because you have a lot to say.
Hear me neck, people. Hear me neck.
All right, okay, let's get into one more thing before we do our main topic, and it's our first impression.
Oh damn!
I don't think I've heard your first impression of me before.
Wow.
So okay, so since it's something that I just brought out, I'll go first so that you can also think about it. So for me, my first impression of you, we first met in NRA.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. You were senior, I was freshie.
Yeah. 2 years.
Yeah, man. So I think it was definitely the action item that we interacted a bit more.
Yep.
Yeah, but you've always been the more ons and the friendlier senior, right? Because I think if I were to picture your batch is, I mean, not saying I don't remember everyone, but it's just mainly the AOC
Yes.
and Roosevelt.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right.
those very involved batch.
Represent.
Yeah. So the AOC, everyone was all like just very cool. Not saying you're not cool, but they were like very. They wanted to keep their distance so that they look a little bit more, yeah. But you were more like approachable and more like you always gave checked up on everyone. Yeah, so you always looked out for everyone. Not saying the others didn't, but yeah, I just remember you doing it a little bit more. So that was my first impression. I was like, wow, this senior nice, yeah. Yeah, and
Thanks.
it's still carrying on until today. Yeah, but I think change a little bit for the better where you know who to look out for rather than like
Yes.
just freely giving it away, which is very important. Yeah.
Hashtag coach's journey.
That's right, man.
True. Okay. Yeah. The first impression, or rather the most memorable from that beginning I had was when I think we were going into translation audition, and then it was the solo audition.
Oh,
And then
oh my god.
you had like tight clothes and and then I went, okay, this is one of the ACS boys.
Actually, guys, fun fact: if y'all go and find the Danzation audition on YouTube, it's still there.
It's all there. It's all there from 2013 translation audition.
Correct.
It's all there. It's all blackmail material. Oh no. Okay, yes, but wearing tight clothes and like going into your hard hitting choreography and then adding in the breaking stance and things like that. Wow. Actually, very strong presence. Can fight with a lot of people. Yeah, but I think yeah, I guess from that is more like can see like the power and the drive and that hunger from that age, and that like without even getting to interact, but it's like how you see from that piece, it kind of represent the person and what the person wishes to say, which is you lah, and like nice, very hungry,
big or
very
go
strong.
home.
Yeah, hashtag action, let's go. Yeah,
Nice.
that's the first impression.
All right. Oh, interesting. Oh my god, it reminded me of my audition. I thought I was so cool back then. I
It's
watch
okay.
it now,
We
I'm
all
like,
we all cringe when we look back 10 years ago,
yeah, man. Oh my god.
11.
If you ever find my secondary school dance videos.
Okay, moving on.
All right, let's move on. Okay, so let's get into the main topic of today, which is on the one I wrote was standing up for your beliefs, but I think it's just general beliefs. And why I wanted to do this topic with you is because I mean, if you follow him, Kelvin, on social media, he's very passionate about advocating about justice and speaking up for the important things that are going on and the things around the world, which is I admire a lot. It's like, oof, yeah, it takes a lot. Not a lot of time, but to
The energy.
the energy to like watch the material, and then you gotta know whether it is something that is valid and credible, So, and I think it's very brave. Yeah, we should get to later, like why some people know that this is something that is happening but are not brave enough to talk about it. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about it with you because I mean, also from not just social media and recently, there's a lot of things to repost and all that. But I think just over the years working with you, because we teach Loyang together, have been for I don't know how many years. Yeah, 5, 6. 5, 6 years.
Yes, 5, 6 years.
Yeah. So, yeah, everything you do is always like very intentional and very connected to what you believe in. Yeah. So you don't have a lot of moments where you are
casual, like 随便.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it is I want to know a little bit more about how you work as well, and what your mind space is at when we talk about all this. Yeah. So I think the first one that I want to go into is it's a very open-ended question, but do you think we form our own beliefs?
So our beliefs I think it's always conditioned by the environment that we are in. Like the truth sometimes is an um illusion because you never really know once you whether you never you cannot really know that you know everything.
Yes.
There's no way for you to reach that absolute um confidence or like not confidence that concrete like you arrive at a point where you know for sure. So
Yeah.
so you know you don't know what you don't know. So you can only work with what you have.
Correct.
And what you have is dependent on where you take information from. It can be your social media, your social circle, people that you connect with, maybe things that you read, and what you choose to take, what you choose to ignore. You know, maybe the information is really available for you, but it's not what you see. Like
Yeah,
you read
yeah.
it, but you choose to ignore it. Then that does not form part of your truth because right now you don't connect with it or you're not open to it, right? Yeah, I think it's also shaped by our environment because I think the environment that we are in, whether be it rules, rules that are in place, or
Like the
like
laws.
yes, like laws and social things like things that we should do, things that we should not do, traditions and stuff like that, part of our family, yada yada. So a lot of these things they form like what we think is like um, must do or like truth. This like okay, this is absolutely like the right thing, versus like thinking about the other end of it is like what if or like what if it's the other way? What would be wrong? Like and own self taking your own journey to go and dissect that question. You know, yeah.
Yeah. I think that is, yeah, I like that whole knowing that you don't know everything.
Mm.
And it's what I feel maybe a lot of us don't have that questioning for ourselves, right? Like we consume a lot of media nowadays, but how often do we then ask what am I not seeing?
I guess sometimes it's also hard for us to want to embark on that question because I mean in a day we have so many things to do, so your mental energy is already like limited. You just want to be done today and
Yeah.
continue on the next day.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it hard for us to go and move on to discover more about the other things that we don't know or check your truths.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess for a lot of us, like let's say like things that you hear from your social circle or like people, example like people that you believe are friends, like that will always be truth because of what you experience personally. You will never know it until like maybe someone says that, oh, person A say something about about you then okay, like other than that there's no other way that you would have known that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your truth at any point of time, I guess, is like temporary. It's also true for you because it's what you experience.
Yeah.
You cannot know what everyone is thinking all of the time. There's just no way to live like that. You're gonna go crazy. So you
Understand.
have to be content. You have to accept that what you know is limited. That we at any point is like we are weak and vulnerable human beings. I just shared something on social media today. Like in 100 years, everyone's just gonna be gone. Whoa, very deep, Like suddenly very dark. We're going to.
This is what I want.
Okay, so yeah, and we are limited. We are limited beings.
Yes.
Yeah, we can only function with what we are capable of and what we know. And yeah, I mean there are miracles that happen, but it's not all of the time. That's why they are called miracles.
Ooh.
So just accept that like every day is not gonna be perfect, and you make do with what you have lah.
Yeah.
Be it in terms of like monetary things or like material possession or like knowledge or like energy,
Yes.
or who you have or what you have in your environment to help you with your life, and that forms your truth. So I guess you kind of sometimes have to accept the limited truth every day and then you move on to the next day. And I think when it's time for you to learn more and discover more, the universe will come to you lah. Yeah, you have to trust in life or fate lah, whatever you call it lah. Okay, yeah,
Whatever you believe
whatever
in.
you believe in, yes, you're gonna reach a bigger, a better point one day. Yeah, but it cannot be, too fixated on that. Yeah, because you will not have a way to like know. Which of my friends are like not being truthful to me, they are not true friends, or which of my goals are not true goals, like actually it's just a temporary shiny thing that I want to pursue. Like
Yeah.
it's very hard until you go and experience it for yourself, then that becomes your truth. You know better.
Correct.
You become a more informed person because of your experiences. And then you move on and you discover a new truth, and then you change your life path and whatever, you make better choices. Yeah, that's it lah. Yeah. So actually a lot of it is not inside your mind, it's your environment. Yeah. So I guess don't be too fixated on what is real, what is not, what is truth, what is fake, but just look at your environment. Then you ask yourself, do you enjoy this environment? Is it helping you? Yeah, is it helping you become a better you and truer you? Are you being honest with yourself? Yeah, like that lor. Yeah,
Nice.
I guess it's like when someone takes a job that they have to do in order to survive versus something that they know that they want to do. It's like I need to work this, no choice, but I want to pursue something else.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know that maybe that's not your truth, but you have to accept it temporarily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
understand. That's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, when I reflected also, I always came back to the reasoning or answer that beliefs are always from external sources. Yeah, and I think it's only when one is able to then, find themselves and then like form your own opinions, you try it, and then you realize yourself that either you are with this belief or maybe you are not so with it, and then you start to form your own belief, right? So I think that is what maybe we should try to do more.
Critical thinking.
Yes, critical thinking.
Very important.
Yes. Right? So whatever you believe in, I mean, whatever you take in is good, but it's only good if you do critical thinking, like you test it and then you figure out whether it is true for you and whether it is something that's positive or helpful.
Yeah.
Right? If not, it will always be a passive result of information from the outside, right? Basically, everything external is just channeling through you. So technically, you are not yourself. You are just a combination of everything around you, right? So if there is no you, there is no difference. I mean, to put it bluntly, lah.
Means your identity is not clear lah.
Yeah.
Like you're just parroting everything that the people around you say.
Yes.
So what are your opinions? What are your decisions? Is it different or you just follow? Yeah.
So also on that topic, so I heard this line, and this also brought me back to the whole belief of this. So this is by Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah, the very science earthy guy with a
Astrophysicist.
with a actually quite narrative voice. So he says there are 3 categories of truths. So personal truth, political truth, and the objective truth that shape our understanding. Right? So if y'all don't know what each of these means, so I went to research it as well because I was like, what? It's like, wow, this is so interesting. I want to find out more about it.
Nice.
Right? So personal truth is quite self-explanatory, something that we believe is true, right? But more importantly, there is no scientific or tangible proof to fully support. So something in that category will be like religion and preferences, right? I like this, I don't like that, right?
Yes.
There's no scientific proof. It's your own personal truth.
Yes, it's true to you.
Yes. Then the second one is political truths, which is something that is true based on policies, right? So like laws, publicly accepted facts, right? Because the law says that we cannot litter, so we believe that we cannot litter. When actually what we're really just doing is just letting go of a piece of paper,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yep.
yeah, so that's political truth.
Not encouraging to litter, but
Yeah. No,
we
no, no,
just
no,
we
no,
just
no.
yeah.
Yeah, just an example. And the last one is objective truths. So this is more like scientific stuff. So things that have evidence, right? So like gravity. Gravity is an object. You can't deny there is no gravity,
It's tested and proven.
right? And things like the world is round, right? Those things with evidence, right? And even maybe things like journalism, like if it's, I mean, like objective journalism where they tell the full story, like this is exactly what it is, right? And yeah, so basically the combination of these three things make up what we believe in. And to me, I think I've always realized that I lean more to objective truths. Because to me, that's the only thing that makes sense, right? Like you have to have the evidence.
You know you can trust it lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's why like I went into science.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I like the whole testing and finding out results. But then that also led me to my next thought is why do we always need to find a meaning for something? Because in essence, finding meaning in life is like creating a beliefs.
Yes, it's you creating something to believe in. Then that's your meaning for life lah.
Yeah, so
Everyone's life meaning different. Eh?
so I think what I'm going at is, do you think that we are too focused on finding the meaning of life?
Finding the meaning of life, like creating a personal
Yeah.
truth lah, right? I think having a personal truth is very important. Sometimes without a personal truth, and you just depend on what already is, which is like your objective truth.
Yes.
You know, physics lah. You know, we need food to survive lah, and like things like that. And we have all these political truths around us as well. You know, how your country functions. You have to go to school and things like that. You know, things that actually largely define your life from young. You'll find that it's all following through all this all the way maybe until you reach a more young adult age where you can start to form your own beliefs and think for yourself, you know, and really decide, is this true or false? Is it right or wrong? Is this something I want or don't want? Is it something that I believe or I don't believe in? And then it kind of becomes like, now you start following, and then you have the option. I mean, the option has been there all along, but now it's more possible for you to do it because of your ability. You make your own choices. You're not from your parents, and having money and time to do it. Something that's not compulsory. Blah blah blah. But now you can actually go and pursue your own things. Yeah, and then you can choose lah. You know, or you can also just follow. Continue to just follow. Yeah. I think it gives a very important direction and arrow to like really know what you're gonna do, because if not, you'll just feel lost. I think even if some people they follow whatever the society has set in place or what people tell you to do, you may feel like you are doing something, but maybe it doesn't feel good because it didn't come from you. Like that truth came from someone or somewhere else, and then for lack of a personal belief, like that's the only thing that you can bank on lah. That's the next layer of ice that you have to support yourself with, or there is no safe platform for you to really you know, follow yet. Yeah, so you are just taking each day as it goes. Yeah. So I think it's important in the many aspects of it. It can come from, as you said, religion. It can come from a personal philosophy, a personal principle. I want to help those in need. For example, like those suffering from hunger all around the world. Okay, and then that becomes your life mission. You know, oh, I want to achieve financial independence. 100K before 30, right? Fire. Let's go. And then that becomes your truth. That becomes that becomes something that you are working towards because you believe that it is a mission. It is something that is worth working for. You know, yeah. Then whether is it long lasting, whether is it temporary, and then that depends lah. Yeah. So I guess even in our personal truths, we have varying levels of how to say, not truthfulness, but varying degrees of like gravity, like how important and how heavy is this belief. You know, some people change religion over the course of their lives, right? Because your beliefs change. Yeah. So how heavy is this belief and how permanent is this belief? Yeah. Like if you wanted to become a firefighter when you were 10 years old, do you still want to become a firefighter when you reach 20? Yeah, that changes from person to person, I guess.
Sick. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, as you were talking about the whole I forgot what was it you said, but yeah, because I was busy thinking of like, oh yeah, my god, that's what I want to talk about as well. The whole where you bank your whole identity on in your belief or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I was thinking about this as well. Like, I was really thinking like, why am I starting a podcast? I mean, like, I did go through it in a bit of detail in my first episode, but again, I always keep asking more. Like, is that it? Like, what else is there? Right? So, I don't know, just nice. I had this thought in the morning when I was waiting for the bus to go and eat. Like, maybe one of the reasons why I want to start my own podcast is because this is my own thing.
Yes.
Right? Like, whatever I've done so far is from EV, right, and other dance platforms, right? So it's something that was never mine per se. Even though what I did, yes, the work that I did was mine, but it always came from somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was thinking like maybe that is why I wanted to start something, and it came in the form of podcast. But the main thing is I wanted to build my own, like platform for myself and do the things that I want.
And it's very important.
Yeah.
It may be subconscious or it may be not as obvious, but it actually gives us a very strong sense of like identity or feeling special or believing yourself. Is why custom designs work.
No, yeah.
You have something unique. It's why engraving works and sells. Like, why is that popular? Why is it so special for you? Because it means something to you special. No one else has that special engraving in this piece of like watch or jewelry or whatever. It's special to you and your partner or whatever. Like it definitely does mean something. Yeah. And I guess like having and this comes in all aspects, like having your own room, having your own time, having the ability to decide something for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, freedom to choice ma. The power is in your hands, not in let's say like your parents' hands or like whoever's hands. They decide and then you must do it. You have no choice. It gives you that sense of like self in this world, you know, where everyone is telling you to do something.
Yeah, and
more
I think
and more.
that is the more common thing happening nowadays. I think not nowadays, like, it's just a cycle. Like, you know, when you are young, you want to fit in, but when you get older, you want to stand out. Yeah, so maybe I'm at that point where I'm starting to want to just not conform. Not conform, but just be a little bit more daring or a little bit more committed to standing out or going my own way somehow. Yeah.
I think there are people that do it reverse though. When they are young, they want to stand out. Then when they get
Actually,
older,
yeah.
when they get older, you just give up and conform because it's so tiring.
Okay, so then which one do you think is a better way to go? Conform then stand out, or stand out then conform?
I feel like there's always different situations and contexts that you will need to do both. Yeah, like maybe in a in a workplace or in the army, you wouldn't want to stand out. You wouldn't want to stand out so much. It depends on what you get from standing out. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
I mean, in school, sometimes when you stand out, you get punishment, lah, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone's not talking, you're the one talking. Everyone's sitting down, you're the one standing up. Yeah. But it depends on the situation. There's nothing wrong with just standing out by itself. Like, you're not punished for standing out. You're not punished for being different. It's just the context of, like, the lesson has to go on. The lesson, yeah. There's more important things than you standing out right now, but that doesn't make it uh wrong.
Yeah.
It's just maybe not now. Like, yeah, subsequent a right place or a right
place,
time
right
to
time.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you do it right, then it gets rewarded really well. It gets welcome. It gets seen. It gets appreciated. Like in dance, lah, right? Yeah. Wow, this dancer very special. Awesome. You don't say this dancer looks like any other dancer out there. Awesome.
That's very true.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess that's the difference, lah. Right place, right time to
It's
be.
kind of like a mix of both. Like, you want to stand out and conform, but stand out when it's at the right place at the right time, and then conform when you have to, because it's like, not that you don't want to get in trouble, but you're just considerate of your environment.
I guess when we talk it like that, right? Like, we now it sounds like conforming is a very bad thing to do, But if you talk about, let's say you look at the context of like a dance piece, actually conforming takes skills,
Yeah.
Not everyone that wants to conform can conform. Sometimes you stand out involuntarily.
That's
you
me.
stand out.
Hey, you too full out.
Hey, you jump too high. Please reduce your height. Every other performance. uh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it always depends on the context, lah. Yeah. I think as you learn to switch between these two, it takes skills, and you learn how and when to do both to your benefit, for your own learning, for your own growth, for your own safety.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you go overseas, then you wear bling bling, or you stand out, bro. Like a target for crime, man.
You go SMU, you leave your phone on the.
Yeah. So it really depends, lah. Yeah. I think
Understand.
it's like back to the truths. You understand these political truths. You understand the objective truths. It helps you to live a better life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't know how to play the game of life, it's just very tough.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So we mainly work with kids and youths. And I think that's one thing that always frustrates me. And I know, again, it's high to ask people of that age to be that deep thinking and critical thinking, but it's just trying to get all of them to have that deeper and more critical thinking, and learn about themselves more, because it's always to say easy when you're looking back in hindsight, but I wish I thought more about all these when I was at that age, so maybe I could have done more things when I was earlier, at an earlier point of time. So I always feel like every time I see my kids, like, being, not say being goofy and whatever, but like not understanding the importance of a certain lesson. It always, like, naturally as a teacher, you're always like frustrated and everything, but I think I'm not frustrated, I'm just more concerned.
Yes. It's like I hope that you will get this lesson.
Yeah.
But you're not getting it, so like, oh.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, but I think that's a tough thing to ask for kids at that age, but just hopefully they discover it soon, so that they can develop in a better in the right path. Yeah.
Maybe it's also not a matter of age. Maybe it's a matter of whose backgrounds allow them to be more open-minded in their own thinking, or more forward or more aware of their own, or more self-aware, or more aware of their surroundings and these things in place, such that they are able to understand and think more from themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's like maybe not everyone's meant to get a lesson in certain points of their time.
Correct.
Sometimes people, like, maybe you only learn how to not do a certain thing when you're like 50 years old. Maybe another person had some experiences and then they already learned it when they were 10. So yeah, I think everyone's backgrounds like play a very big part in how they navigate through the world. So sometimes it's hard to one it's hard to have everyone to get it, but it's like what we can do is to sow the seeds early lah.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely instances where we have thought back about what some teacher said, but then we only got it like
That happens so much now.
5-6 years 5 6 years later. You're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like someone said, and then I finally get it now. Yeah, it's like cannot you cannot unlock certain truths without going through certain other lessons yourself. The truths come in packages. It doesn't come by itself. It's not a DLC that you can just pay money and then like you receive it. Yeah, it comes in certain packages lah. And when you interact with people, you realize that maybe some people will never understand certain things their entire life, and that's just how this life has to be like. Yeah.
Understand.
It's tough lah.
Yeah. You're talking about that whole that whole logic of this is how their life is meant to be, I guess. I think I was talking about this with Astrid the other day. It was kind of like the deep question is do the bad things have to happen, for you to become like this? Again, the context was like, if I have to raise a kid next time, do I prevent the bad things from happening,
or do you allow it to happen
so that they can learn the lesson?
Whoa,
right?
This is
because as a parent, you will want to protect your kid because you know how painful the lesson was, but only in experiencing that lesson then you get the lesson, right? You learn from it. And maybe if in intervening in the lesson they don't understand the weight, maybe they learn half of the lesson,
yes,
but maybe they really needed the full weight of that whatever painful experience it is to learn the full lesson, you know.
I think maybe the question is not like half like, how to say, preventing the experience or allowing the experience. I guess the question is how much of, okay, let's say it's your kid, like how much of the kid's spirit and morale and soul do you want to protect and prioritize versus learning the experience? Okay. Because like sometimes when we need to sometimes when people when they go through certain experiences, the spirit breaks, or like the soul breaks, like you become a little bit demoralized, because pain and experience is the best teacher. But how much pain can a person take? It changes. Like when you experience a heartbreak, when you experience a loss, when you experience pain, it changes you, whether be it like physically, marks, whether be it like spiritually, you stop believing in something or someone, whether be it like what else is there? I don't know. Like it changes you as a person.
Yes.
Yeah, your entire behavior and your belief and things like that, without you even realizing it. Sometimes, that's how powerful it is. Yeah. So it has the potential to go better, right, or worse. Better means that you learn from the experience, and then you become a better person. But it's always give and take, you see. Like someone who has experienced a heartbreak, it's like you manage to become more protective for yourself, but at the same time you become less vulnerable. Yeah, so there's a give and take lah. Yeah. So I guess the question maybe it's not a yes or no, but it's like a definitely a yes and definitely a no. But like how much at certain point, right? Maybe certain age you are more protective for a certain thing. Then you reach a certain age, you're like more allowing for a certain thing. Then the rules change. The rules change. And I guess this depends on it's like back to coaching, right? Like how
Yeah.
much is this person's appetite for pain or appetite for like taking in all these lessons. Yeah, I feel like it's very tough if sometimes like um the kid or the student is very fixated on the pain and not on the lesson. Then it
Oh,
backfires.
okay, okay.
Then it backfires. Like okay, like this person treat me like that, right? But I don't learn. I just feel like oh, it's very pain, you know. But I never really think extra about it for me to learn a lesson from it. Oh, then that's so tough because it's double negative.
Yeah.
That doesn't become a positive. You take the worst of the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the best is if someone can understand your intentions, take the pain, not focus on the pain and focus on the lesson. It's like, oh, I fully understand what you were trying to like teach me, and then I don't feel bad about it. But I now, you know, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when is there's a intervention or when there's help or when there's this kind of thing in place, it is definitely a more, should I say cushion or guided, I don't know lah, like maybe both lah. It's a more cushion and guided situation.
Like
To-
you have to manage it well
Yeah,
after that.
yeah, I think it really depends on the type of person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people really do super better with like you go and discovering the world yourself and you absorb that 100% fully.
All right. Camera died again. Again, anyone want to sponsor me a better camera, please crowdfund me. But anyway, I really not sure how much was captured, but I know it was pretty much almost everything.
Yeah.
So just to sum up, yeah, we are not parents, so ultimately we don't really know what the right thing to do is.
So yeah, I think like recently I saw this on social media. It's like our parents are also living their life and being a parent for the first time.
Yes, yes.
For the first time. I guess you could say that if you are the second, third, fourth child, then it's like, hey, your parents had like some experience. You know?
But they had no experience handling 2, 3 kids.
Yeah, exactly. So it's tough, and again, the only way to get your personal truths is to experience it.
That's very true.
Yeah, there's no other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's also what I see a lot nowadays. Like everybody just wants to watch other people. Like they want to get the experience from other people's experience. So they don't want to experience it themselves. So they get whatever information about whatever it is from other people's experience. And then they adopt that experience as that is what's going to happen if I do whatever that is. Right? So let's say I feel about this because this person feels this about that.
Yes.
Right? So
It's like this person tells you, oh, like this certain shoe is like not good. And you're like, oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. But what is it backed by? You know, is it just a
Yes.
personal taste? There's nothing to do with you.
Correct.
Yeah. So go and try out pineapple on pizza for yourself.
That's right. Come on, man. Pineapples on pizza is the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Next is a little bit about anchoring ourselves on our identity and our beliefs. You know, like where's the line? Like let's say we believe in okay, let's take for example personal truth. Let's say religion. Right? So should we feel like that is our whole personality? What do you think
Whole
about
personality.
that? Like a big chunk of me. Let's say, I mean, not saying that is wrong. Again, it's open ended. I just want to know people's opinions on it. Like, if I am a Christian, which I am, and my whole identity is just being Christian,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Like, is it bad that it is my whole identity? Or is it a good thing that I have a strong sense of identity?
Because you have that fully backed and like
Yeah.
thing to depend on, right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm asking this because I recently read a book, which is the one of my podcasts. I did a whole reflection on that book, which is super super great. It's called The Power of Now, right? And
By Eckhart.
Eckhart Tolle.
Yes.
Yeah, and basically in that book, his stance was to not anchor your beliefs on anything external, right? And it's like in the extreme case of like even your physical body is external,
Yes.
right? Because he was talking about spirituality and all of that is within, right? So so to identify or with your beliefs, right, is it really bad per se, or is it like I'm just like
I get a question.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like going round, aside from going round the rabbit hole of like dealing with all these words, I think that having your identity like fully packed to one thing as a human is a bit sad, because I think like you have this potential and capability to feel and experience a gazillion different things in this world, but we are like sticking to only like one thing through our lives. Yeah, I think if you like, even though we are weak and vulnerable human beings, but to be human on this earth feels like is is something that is a miracle in itself, you know. I don't want to bring everyone into like this thing, but like, have you ever wondered how come the universe exists and how we are born? Then after you realize you find no answer. How come I can hear music? How come I can feel my body? Oh,
Yeah.
it's a bit
These
crazy.
are the questions that I also
It
keep
brings
asking.
you out of your mind. It's like,
Like,
how
how
it's
are
like
we even alive?
yeah,
Like,
how are you even alive? Like, how come you can hear things and then you can think and you can respond to questions? Why do you have a mind and you have a soul? Why do you have consciousness? Like,
yes.
how does it work?
Yes.
You know? How does all this work? What if one day, like, something gets taken from us and then it's gone? Like, will we still be like the same human beings? You know, what is there like a different way to live life and experience all this outside of like this universe? What if there's like more? Cannot lah. It's we go into like some science fiction shit that is like it's like cannot even
Yeah.
use words to describe, and that's how crazy it can get. Yeah, I don't know. Like part of this is how I personal belief is that our human minds is not, we are not meant to find all these answers. Yeah, and that to me, religion is just a way of having a sort of belief that we can latch on, so that we don't go crazy. Yeah, like
It's like an answer to give ourselves.
it's
so
like
that we
a
stop
it's like an
thinking.
answer that we give ourselves. Not given to us, like it's like we give ourselves
Oh yeah.
in our own understandable words and understandable images and understandable scriptures. It's like yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my interpretation of it lah, and I guess that's why from young, even though I was trying to find answers, but like I for one time I was like atheist, then after that I was be like no, agnostic. Yeah, like I like bringing back to the first thing, I believe that we don't know what we don't know, and then we will never ever know. Yeah, and maybe we are not meant to know, so stop trying to find.
Yeah.
Trying to find, there's better things to do, like go
Like,
and
be okay not knowing.
yeah, be okay not knowing. Just go and enjoy your teh peng and eat your cai fan. Like, like yeah, like like this you don't even know how long you live, and I guess it is definitely okay to go in pursuit of that. Yeah, but I don't know for human mind and what we have, it feels like it's something that we will never get our hands on. Like we are not supposed to mentally touch it. It's just something there for us to kind of
Just appreciate it.
yeah, just appreciate it. If you want to, if you believe it, let it guide you and let it bring you to a better place. And honestly, I mean, without going into religion topic, I guess there's a reason why there's so many religions in this world, and why is there overlap?
Yeah.
Why is there overlap and like common truths between Islam and Christianity and all this? Like,
Correct.
go and dig and find out the answer. Then you realize the answers lead to more questions. You will never be done.
Yeah.
So, I think latching yourself onto it gives you a very good sense of direction and a better sense of self, but not a complete sense of self.
I think it can.
It can.
But then that's where it becomes like, I would call it the ego lah. Like you start to
Yes.
build your own ego around,
Yes.
and you are very rigid in your views, and you don't allow for other.
Yeah, it can lah, but it's like, that's I don't think that's a nice thing to happen.
Yeah, but I mean it happens so much.
Mm.
Yeah, and I think that's why all these conflicts are happening and all that. It's because everybody wants their own truth to be right and their own belief to be right, and they are unaccepting, or even it's like non-negotiable beliefs.
You're right. Like you are not even considering the other political or objective truths.
Yeah.
You are just let's go full steam ahead in my personal opinion and see how far I can get.
Correct.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah, I want to talk about that as well, but a bit later. I think one last thing about this whole belief thing is, I think one super good thing that I did or was prompted to me to do was to ask myself, who am I? Like, I mean, it's a very common question to ask, like, who are you and everything, but like genuinely, who am I? Right? And when you come up with your answers, then look and analyze those answers that you give. Like, for example, if you ask me, who am I? Oh, I'm a coach, I'm a teacher, I do podcasts, I go for runs, I think I'm a bit healthy, right? Those are, then essentially that is what you think your identity is, right? Let's say some people say, oh, I'm a Christian and I'm this, I'm that, right? So I think there's a very simple and easy way for you to understand what you think your own identity is right
It's
now.
like, what's the first things that come out of your mouth?
Correct, right? And I think if you ask this to a lot of people, like, I mean, adults, they would tell you their job. Like, tell me about yourself. Oh, I am a banker. Oh, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
Right, which means that their identity is tied to their job.
Even your name.
Yeah.
Like your name is
Your name is given to you.
Your
It's
name
like,
is separate. If one day you have no name, you still exist or not? Of course you still exist lah, right? But so the name is like external,
Right,
and
so-
all these things are external. They
Correct.
are all, it's like a avatar character in the game. It's all tagged to you. You can change it. You can change the name after. Decide on the name first. Creating a name for RPG character.
yeah, man. Once I think that was the question that made me try to really go deeper into that whole external internal thing. Like, wow, it's really like no end to it. It just keeps going. Yeah. But anyway, so talking about the what was it you said just now? Totally forgot already.
Which one?
I don't even know already.
Before religion, right? Identity, making up yourself, pegging your identity on like one thing. No. After that, pegging your identity on like one thing.
It's okay, I think the moment has gone. Yeah, but anyway, okay, so the next one I want to talk about is social media. And because I think a lot of beliefs right now is from social media and the influence social media has. Right? So what are your thoughts on social media?
Um, Social. I mean, as the name says, it's a form, it's a tool for you to connect with your social circle, right?
Mm,
I think when we use it in our phones and like you are physically typing and swiping and tapping, it feels like you're in control of your media, but other than that, you're not really.
yes.
Yeah, maybe adults will discover more lah, but I guess as like kids, maybe if you use it, is I don't maybe we are not as aware of it, you know. It's like what how your media is different from the next 10 persons beside you, and it
Mm,
can change so much as to depending on how the algorithms
correct.
want or don't want to show you, and like even limiting or controlling the things that you see or don't see and things like that. Uh, but that's more towards content with your account. So that's not even like you, and we cannot even finish talking about like how it affects you, and that is real because it directly affects you, not your content. You know, like okay,
Yes.
you talk about algorithm, right? What it shows you, whether your stuff is shown to people, like how much reach lah, how much insights you have. You know, is are you shadow banned? Are you like blocked or whatever? You know, um, um, and like oh whatever you search for and scroll, it will show you. Yes, but that's like what that's like your content. That's fine. You know, you can delete account and start over. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you can start fresh. But when we talk about how it affects you, I guess that's something that is more permanent, and that's
Mm.
something harder to realize. Yeah, like do you scroll more and become a bit more brain dead? Do you scroll more and learn more things? Do you scroll more and connect more with people? I think it differs a lot, depending on how people use it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
I for me, I again as I reflecting on this, I deduce that I mean just primarily primarily
Primarily.
social media was made for entertainment and connecting with each other. But
Mm,
I think these days it's been weaponized for influence.
definitely.
Yeah, and the unknowing victims are those which are still cognitively developing, which
Mm,
are the future generation,
yes.
and they don't have enough knowledge to know about all these. So they
Yeah.
are like the innocent victims of all these. Yeah, because like they are essentially, to me I feel like social media is no longer a leisure thing. It's become like a game, right? Like you talk about algorithms, you talk about people using it to push their agendas,
It has
right?
definitely changed a lot lah.
Yeah.
Like not even like you look at all the ads that are coming out and look at all the things that you're forced to see, and we are all okay. We are all okay.
We have no choice.
We need to continue using the platform. We got no choice. Yeah, so you just see lor, like no choice right? Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, so I wrote this. Using social media is like using GPS, right? So if you don't know your direction, you don't know what you're using it for, you're gonna believe whatever GPS you're using is the best way, right? So whatever
Mm.
social media tells you about this topic, you will believe that this is what it is, right? If you have no like knowledge or personal direction,
Mm.
right? So your information system basically is social media, right? And then we continue to believe it and only know that one way because we only rely on social media as our information news outlet and all that, right? So using it then makes you more reliant on it, right? But the thing is, when things eventually go wrong, like you realize there's more out there, and because you didn't have this knowledge from outside, and that's why you made a mistake, right? It gives us that excuse of like, oh, it's not my fault because I saw this from here, so I thought that was right. So because we are not forming the informations for ourselves, it is easy for us to then
Put the responsibility on the external sources
which
of
I feel is also
information.
one reason why it is so like reliant or people like to use it is because it gives you a bit of a security from yourself.
From yourself, wow.
Yeah, because I mean it's not me. This is not me. This is
from your, it gives you it what absolves you from your own responsibility.
yes.
Yeah. Now you don't need to be responsible. You just depend on what people tell you lah.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. This test answer I don't need to think lah. I just take from the person beside me. So easy,
Right?
right?
Like let's say
Yeah. If it's wrong, then is that person wrong, not me?
yeah. Like let's say you see some like what shortcut hacks and whatever, or some even those who are doing business like do these business tips and everything and then you just like, believe it as it's true. Then when things don't go wrong, like it's because maybe they never tell me everything. Maybe because but you don't question yourself. Like maybe you don't know enough about it. You did not go and research more about it. So we always like to play the blame game rather than self-reflecting and spending time with yourself. And I think social media is just the perfect place to perpetuate that blame game in yourself.
It's perfect in the way that it really absolves you from responsibility. If you want it that way lah, like if you really don't want to be accountable for what you say and do, then just create an anonymous account and go and shit over someone else's post and go and say something like wrong or like rude, and then you like no one can fault you for it because no one even knows who you are. That's the power of being anonymous lah, right? Yeah. So I guess you see in the end it depends how you use it. Because anyone can do that. You can do that for the next 20 years. No one can stop you.
So how do you make sure then you use, like how do you control your use of social media?
Control. I think first you understand how the algorithm works. I mean, it definitely shows you things that you like. So you can go and decide what things do I want to see more of, what things do I want to see less of. Right? That's the first step, explore page, right? On IG. Yeah. Then the next is maybe checking with others to see, what's actually in your content. Like like because you will never know how different the content until you actually see for yourself. Like different demographic and different people, their content totally different one. Someone can totally just be a whole page of like funny memes, some page totally all like war stuff. You search more for country A's political stuff, they recommend you more of country A's political stuff. It just goes like that. Yeah. So depends on what do you want to see more of. Like then we go back to defining yourself as using the words lah. Right?
Yeah.
I am this. Then like if let's say I'm interested in fitness, then I want to see fitness things. Let's say I'm interested in like whatever sports, then I want to see these sports things. Let's say I'm interested in like the best Hokkien Mee in Singapore. Okay, then I want to find who's which food accounts are like posting about that. Yeah. And then that becomes your sources of information that you can decide to take whether as truths or not. Yeah, I think to control it, for me, it's really more about the duration. Yeah, I think maybe not about the what, but like the how much. I think that's tough. Yeah. I think for so many years, it's been still a tough thing to control. First thing you wake up, then like, hey, let's go.
Correct.
Yeah, or maybe in public transport. But I think I am more aware of it now, in terms of like cutting it short at the start or at the end, to like spend maybe like 5-10 minutes to like just switch to the meditation app and just breathe, or like use the time to like plan classes and things like, or like even find music on a totally different app. Yeah, like interestingly enough, something that is new for this year is that I've been using the explore page to find new house music.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is something that I never expected from IG.
How do you go about doing that?
Initially it was all about, you know, the if let's say I'm finding new music, it's either okay, because I'm now trying to find more music both for dance and also for potential DJing. So the sources are typically from Spotify or from attending an event that DJs play new, and then you just Shazam
Yeah.
everything. Okay,
Just
then,
record everything, go home, Shazam one by one.
yes. But you know, you decide whether to use it after, okay? Or like you go onto the platforms like Beatport or Tracksource to like purchase music, and then you find recommendations from there. So I totally didn't expect that IG will have pages that also have people or accounts that are sharing house music, some digital and new, some vinyl and old, and the more you find it, the algorithm recommends it to you. So
Yeah.
actually you can have it on your explore page, and you know, you find new music like that. Yeah, I think what works amazingly is that I really enjoy what Spotify has, both on their dailies and both on their recommended songs. Like it's crazy how much new songs are undiscovered and you can find from there. You know,
I think it's millions.
yeah, it's a rabbit hole. And I guess when you use these tools and algorithms to your advantage, you kind of find information in a new way that previously wouldn't have been possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the whole yeah, we're talking about look at other people's like explore page and everything was recommended to them. I've never thought of doing that before, but now that you say it, I also quite interested
Yeah,
to
I mean
do
not in
that.
a creepy way lah, but like really go and talk
Yeah,
to the
like-
person
like
and see like,
get
hey,
permission
like
and
got
everything,
got interesting things or not, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, because I think one of the thoughts that I was going through my mind when I was like, I mean, not that it's I do it like unknowingly, but like when I look at my students scroll their page, I'm like, what are they watching? Like, is that even like what? Is that even part of the app? Like,
Is it even funny?
because I don't even get all those things. And yeah, you're talking about algorithm where
Mm.
it it gives you more of what you are watching and consuming. Yeah, so I'm like, I kept telling them like, guys, you know what my explore page is? Motivational quotes and fitness.
Yes. So now this becomes a motivational app for you.
Right? Yeah.
So different, you know?
Yeah, so I was then telling them that, if you use it properly, it is actually such a benefit in your life and helping you, navigate what you want to do and figure out who you want to be, right? Like, let's say you are struggling with your identity. Like, suddenly you watch this, you're like, oh my God, who am I? Right? Then, yeah, just can go Instagram search philosophy, like, like spirituality or like
it's
just
really like how you would find any information you would want.
no, but that's the thing. Like, I realized we think that is normal, that we would don't know something, we go search it up.
But for different generation of people, it's
They
really...
they don't know something. Oh, okay. Yeah. So like, it's just trying to maybe just reframe like technology and everything as not a getaway from life or something just to do for leisure and entertainment.
Yeah,
But
definitely different
the
now.
benefits of technology is so great, but it's not being used well. In fact, like I said just now, it's being weaponized by the bigger people, to take advantage of those maybe with not enough access to everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you only, I think only when these things happen, then you realize maybe how much is not in your control and how important it is for you to be aware of it. So I feel like it gets to the point whereby if you are not of the age or having that maturity to really practice critical thinking and second guess everything that you read and really check for facts and verification, then it's already too late. It's already too late once you open the app. It's too late.
Yes.
It's like it's either you have it before you open the app or just don't. But that's
Yes.
not up to us lah. It's up to each individual. You're in control of how you use the app.
And do you know where we learn all these skills? Social studies and history.
Yes.
Inferring credible sources. And for it is something I've been realizing like recently is that actually a lot of things we study in school is actually very useful. Take the subject away, like the content of the
Yeah,
subject
it's not the
away.
content. It's like how you arrive there.
Yeah.
It's the method.
Like math is problem solving, right? You
Or like teaching you to visualize. Teaching you to visualize the
Correct.
problem. Like why you need to draw model? Because it helps you to visualize. It works wonders.
Yeah, I love doing models, yeah, like the bar shit and everything. Yeah, it was yeah, and I think if you guys, if any of the you kids, secondary school, primary school, I don't know if you're watching this. But whatever it is, if you are struggling with what you're studying, then take the content out of what you are doing and figure out what is the skill set that whatever module or subject you are doing is offering to you, right? I think the biggest one that related to me was problem solving. Like the reason why I realized I like to find answers for things is because I realized that when I was doing maths it was the same. Like I always needed to find the answer, right? And if I got stuck, it will be in my mind, right? And I'll just find different ways to solve it.
You just need your questions answered.
Yes.
You just need your questions. No open-ended things.
Right? And I think that is how then I went on to ask all these questions. Like the reason why I want to ask all these questions because I have not found the answer. I just keep asking and I just keep trying to find a way, right? If I didn't want to find the answer, I would just ask it and be like, oh, okay, don't know.
Maybe that's why Singapore is like so good at your STEM subjects. You know. Yeah. Your especially like your maths and science.
Yes.
Because it's just sticking to the rules and finding the answers.
Correct.
Nothing else matters.
Right? Like not art, art
Yeah.
expression.
Yeah. Conspiracy theories maybe the whole country is created so people's brains are just more suited to think in a linear format and just go and find answers, that everyone becomes better at math and science. Yeah. Maybe
Things to think about.
no, but it's true. Like when you travel and then you meet people from other countries, the thinking is so different. Is more open, is being more like questioning of like this and that, and like allowing for different options to happen and not having to like, hey, this is the way we do things and no other exceptions allowed, follow this rule because
Yeah.
it is set in place, like why are you making life so hard for yourself? Yeah.
So true.
So I think the awareness in that is something important that is very hard to get in the happy scrolling kind of life in Singapore. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that one last point about social media is I had this thought as well. So social media is a virtual world, right? It's not a real life world. But say suddenly we wake up and the virtual world is now the real world. Like we're living in the virtual world. Right? Will we still want to live in that world? Right? Think about again targeted ads. People are just shoving things in your face as you walk down, as you are walking to work. People are like, hey, this is the ad, and then you have like
In exchange for that, your feelings are invalid and then you have this perfect version of yourself.
correct. Right? And then because of the algorithm, right, is always hearing you, which is actually quite creepy, because the other day I don't know, me and my students talking about Owala water bottle. The next day on my Instagram was Owala ad. Right?
It is listening. It
so,
is.
So think about it. If the virtual was a real world, you will always have someone listening to you in real life, like every single conversation, because your phone is always with you.
Yeah.
Will you still want to live in that world? Right?
So everyone, go and read 1984 by George Orwell. Go and yeah, go and read 1984 by George Orwell. And then the scary thing about the setting of their book is that in the surveillance state and surveillance society it is getting very close to that happening, or already happening in different ways. And it was written some time ago about how, like people will be able to have rules in place and really survey you and like know like each and everything that you do, and you follow what Big Brother says, or the big man says. And just go and read and reflect on how the world is now and see how it connects. And it's just pretty scary with all this technology in place, and where it's going, especially with like art creation, like AI created art,
Yeah,
and
oh my
AI
God.
created voices and all this. And then
It's damn scary.
it's just not a very fun thing to look forward to lah. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am not fond of the next 10-20 years. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, if y'all like, are not the physical book reader, there are audio books if you're more of a like a listening kind of person. So yeah. Like honestly, resources are so important because it gives you information, and the information is not coming from social media. So try to find more resources outside. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what is it about, like the habit of using different platforms nowadays. But like I think one very big thing that connects back to dance with all this media is like nowadays the younger generation doesn't search for videos on YouTube and like watch it, like full. I'm talking about full blown like 10 minutes like dance battles or dance showcase and videos. And having so much of the resource back then is like an amazing thing to watch,
Yeah,
because
shit. Like, I remember last time going to
it-
school, I would watch a 1 hour. I forgot what competition is that, but it's a breaking battle. But it's 1 hour long. I will watch the full thing on YouTube.
on the way to school.
Yeah, maybe not on the way lah.
Yeah.
Like half on the way, half behind the way. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's so much that is available, but we are not seeing all of this maybe older stuff that happen. But you're just flooded with your new and short 30-second, 1 minute things, and changing subject every 30 seconds, every 1 minute, on like maybe things that provide you with entertainment but not really help you. Yeah. I think like leading up to brain rot is a important cause for concern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I also believe that, technology and all has in a way hacked the human psyche.
It is
Right,
a,
he's
it
used
is a
like-
weapon.
Legit research to, study like a human's attention span.
Yes.
That's why everything now is so short.
And your focus
Right.
and your outlook on life.
Correct, and that focuses your real life. Like that's why in an actual physical situation, you can only have your attention span for 30 seconds.
Yeah,
because you're
and-
conditioned to have your attention for that long only.
Yeah, and even other than attention, it will kind of redefine your personal beliefs.
Yes.
Because now all that you intake is that, Yeah, so you don't really have something to work towards lah, I guess. Yeah, it's like I don't know, I read an article about how like maybe on TikTok, to be used as a weapon, like all the silly and stupid and meaningless stuff is being fed to the US demographic. And then what is being fed to the China demographic is like, science and math and like educational shit and like interesting things that actually will make everyone, not stupider, but like a little bit smarter about the
Yeah.
world. And it may seem a bit like high and mighty to like be doing all this. Like, really? Yeah, must use TikTok to like learn math and science. That's like school. Okay, but when you are just scrolling and you're just accepting whatever comes, it doesn't really make a difference to the user. But in the long term, it changes a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think just to wrap up on this social media part, I think I have two things. Number one is again that whole noticing how much you have changed. I think if we can all like take a moment to think, what were we like before we use social media? And I know for the younger generation that's gonna be hard because
The self-aware is not awareing it.
yeah, and also because you were born into social media.
Oh my
right?
god.
So there's no comparison to when it was
Thank
before
God
social
we are
media.
in like not good.
Right, and then
Whoa.
I think the next thing is like comparing if that okay nowadays iPhone has screen time. I'm not sure about Android. Like tracks your screen time. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I know for Apple they can track how much time you use on a specific app and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you add all that up, right, and you compare with how much time do you actually spend with yourself, right? Ooh, do you like that ratio?
Hmm.
Right? I think most people will be like 1 hour with yourself at most.
With yourself meaning
Like just
in
reflecting,
your own thoughts.
yeah, processing things that happen through the
It
day,
can be quiet time.
managing your
Yeah.
emotions,
Not sleep lah. Cause sleep you're not thinking lah.
Yeah.
Okay, but like awake and
consciously
yeah.
thinking.
It's like if you go and take a walk in the park without scrolling your phone and maybe not talking to people, like just with yourself, like how much time do you have on that?
Or how much time do you even allocate for yourself to do that?
Yeah. So it's very hard in this society where you like it's so crowded, everyone's everywhere, and you are able to be connected with every single one with all your apps. You have no time to yourself. And it almost feels like time to yourself is not important. But really think of it in another way such that you will become parroting like whatever you see and whatever is said to you, whatever you watch and scroll, like that just becomes who you are lah. Right? So in the end you don't have your own thoughts.
Yeah, which
because
brings
you
back
don't
to the whole belief
you don't
and
spend enough
personal
time with
belief.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even that's true in the dance side as well. Yeah, maybe you go into that another time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, one last thing for the day because it's getting a little bit long.
Mm-hmm.
The last one is about the ways people stand up and speak up. I think more so of like why do you think some are maybe not like they do believe in justice and everything, but they don't speak up or speak out. Like why do you think some people are in that camp?
I think there's a lot of different facets to this. So there is the situation of like maybe asking question in the class or like speaking up in school. There is the context of like maybe standing up for your own style, probably in like dance, standing up for your own differences compared to what other people like. Example like pineapple on a pizza versus no pineapple, like standing up for what you believe in, yeah. And then there is the whole other thing about speaking up for other people, right? Standing up for what you believe in, as in something negative or bad is happening and then you are doing it or speaking out about it versus not doing anything, right? So there's different ways to talk about standing up and speaking up. Yeah, so I think when we talk about speaking up in like school setting, it's like maybe a lot of the, I don't know, it can be partly don't know, let's say like after CC or after dance class, right? It's ask any question or no question. It's like,
Always
maybe,
no questions.
or maybe some got question but don't dare to ask. So it's like maybe the situation is like we don't know how to form our words.
Yeah.
Or maybe we are scared that if like it's not a good question or it doesn't get worded correctly, then it's like a bad impression, among your friends or whatever, or like it just takes more effort and more courage to need to even speak up and say something. Maybe because we've been conditioned since young to just shut up and keep quiet, and just listen to whatever is taught to you. Yeah, I think that definitely affects, and that definitely is part of the equation of how maybe like kids and students are behaving lah in certain situations. Yeah, you can be totally noisy and active at home because it's not a place that you need to keep quiet and shut up, versus in a school and a class setting, which is very different. Yeah, so I think again the truths depend on the environment. Yeah, and it can change depending on where you are. That's why the environment is very important. But if you are able to have that little change and breakthrough in that, like, okay, I know it is not normally done, but I know that if I do this is like it's the right thing. It's like there's nothing wrong from doing this. Then go ahead and do it. Yeah, I guess then that helps, kids to be able to like speak up further lah. Yeah, but if there's no one doing it, there's no one encouraging it, then it becomes very hard to do it. Yeah, yeah. I think it's important. It's definitely important because you realize that it's like it sends a ripple or a wave out from yourself. It helps you to understand who you are when you ask questions or when you talk about anything. It helps people also understand who you are. And when we don't do that, it just becomes a little less connection from everyone in the same situation. Because everyone's just keeping to themselves and not talking and not speaking. Then people or things who are loud that always are the ones that is capturing the most attention will continue to do that lah. And it can be social media, it can be whoever is talking the most in a class, it can be whoever is the most confident or sure about their belief, then that will always be the one that is dominating. And in some cases, like that may not be the best thing that happens, Yeah. So I think if you truly do believe in something, or if you're not sure about something, like there's nothing wrong from having a little bit more conversation and discussion. Yeah, I think in this day and age, like we all don't talk enough.
Correct.
We all don't talk enough. Like actually talking will solve a lot of problems, or even like help us to learn a lot more. But like less of the assuming and more of the talking lah.
Yeah, but I also think on that point, a lot of people don't see talking as talking. They see as just an argument.
Then that comes back to your individual, how to say, like behavior lah, and like take on the matter, and like, are you able to agree to disagree?
Right. Then again, that's your belief making yourself rigid.
Yeah, that's your appetite for understanding and for empathy.
Yeah.
I think when you don't have that, then it becomes like, okay, if you're different from me, means one of us is wrong. But you must understand that not everything in this world is so black and white as painted by the political truths.
Correct.
Not everything is like it's either right or wrong, yes or no, correct or incorrect, because majority of our society is like that, ma. From school to like the rules in school to like the rules in society to like this and that, maybe even to the media that we have lah. Yeah, but when you understand that actually there's a lot of this that goes more to understanding, like, okay, someone stole something from the food store. It's wrong, it's a crime. But what is the background behind it? Why did the mother steal the food? Is it for the child? Is it for what? Does it make it right? Does it make it wrong? Is it understandable? So actually, like there's a lot of like more to
It's more depth to.
there's more depth to any situation, or there's more depth to like something like when we bother to talk to people, then we will understand each other a little bit more. Then you will stop fighting so much, because there's no reason to fight once you understand why someone behaves or why someone does a different thing. It might not be right, but you will understand it a bit better. Yeah, and that helps you to, and that helps to change your truth on the matter. Like you believed it to be 100% wrong, but actually it may become okay, like it's wrong, but now I don't have so much negative feelings for this because I understand it a little bit better now. If you were put in that situation, empathy. If you were put in that situation, would you have done the same thing? Like that lor. Yeah, but honestly, without talking and without that discourse, it's so hard to have that lah. Yeah, I think in this fast-paced society, to like arrive at the answer, let's see who can get the answer the fastest. Right? Yeah. Then we stop we forget to slow down to become human. Yeah, I think
Yes.
it's a bit, it's very
Remember
scary.
that we are all human.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then on the point of like, let's say, let's say now there's a lot of things that we can be standing up for in
Mm.
terms of the world situation.
Yes.
Like I think recently, not I mean not regarding the current things, like a bit before, like I think it was I think Black Lives Matter, that whole
Yes, that was
situation and everything.
2020,
Yeah,
right in the middle of circuit breaker.
like it was. I think what made me think about all this is, where is the line between, you know, standing up, personally on you, and then giving other people maybe judgment or whatever it is for not standing up.
Mm.
Like
Like
oh, why you not reposting all this and supporting this cause.
right.
Yeah. And yeah, like, so to me this is between, like, where's the line between standing up for our beliefs and imposing our beliefs. Like, because I mean, if we want to stand up for our beliefs, we want people to see our point of view,
Yes.
right? So then the result of that to us is people understanding our point of view,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which then we want them to, again, then just do the same thing as us.
Yes. Like
Right.
join me in my
Yeah,
quest to
so
promote
if they
pineapple on pizza.
correct. So if let's say they don't end up doing anything about standing up for pineapple pizza, I would be like, hey, so why don't you support? And then you just try to keep, making them support.
So when we put these matters into perspective, or maybe on a scale, like how much of it is a personal thing versus how much of it is tied to the world and society around us. Okay, so the range goes from pineapple on a pizza
That's the lowest.
and the middle being religion, and at the end being making noise for standing up for international crime and things that are happening to the world and potentially ripples around the world and things that will affect us eventually. So when we understand that the scale of all this and how much space in it is for yourself versus the world, and how much does it affect you and not just you, then it becomes like, how much should we pursue this, right? There's no one going around debate, like fighting each other over pineapple on pizza, because it has a very very small impact. And it's such a flexible thing. If you don't like it and the restaurant service, to just take it out, right?
Like, that's not cause anyone any
it's not a cause for
inconvenience
concern.
or-
It's solvable. It's so easily solvable. Like let's just solve it and move on with our life.
Yeah.
So it's not important. It matters to certain people. You can talk about it. It's not important. So we don't go around talking about it, right? And it's personal truth. It's personal opinion. It's your own taste. You can have what you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people who stand more strongly about it can go and debate about it, but in the end, it will not change anything. Restaurants will still serve, with or without, right? Yeah, it's a very very small
Screw this one guy's
small
opinion.
impact. Yeah. Then you move on to the middle of the scale, which is religion, right? So we understand growing up that there's different religions, different people, and different places and different backgrounds have different religion.
Yeah.
Some is more mandated, some is more optional, some is smaller, some is bigger, some have different, more open rules, some have stricter and tighter beliefs, down to like your lifestyle and your everyday
Yeah.
habits. So with all these political rules around religion and how it is in its place, then it becomes a more situational thing to talk about. It depends on the person's background. It depends on the person's upbringing. It depends on the country. Malaysia has different religious laws than
Yeah.
Singapore. It depends on what is the person's appetite to talk about it, whether the person is open. Some is open, right? If it was not open, then people will not be talking about it on the streets. Like evangelists asking, hey, may I talk to you about, some are open. That's why it is happening. If we are humans that are totally not open to it, if this society is in that way, then it will not happen. There will be no one trying to do it because it will not have a high chance of success. People will not be listening, right? So it depends how open people are to listen or possibly accept and possibly changing. And how important is it? Does it affect the world around us, right? It's more, there's more positive than negative, so it's like up to the person, right? Yeah, so I would say that it has definitely more impact than debating about pineapple on a pizza,
For sure.
but it is still up to the person. If let's say this entire group of person after talking does not accept your beliefs, life still goes on.
The world carries on.
The world carries on. Okay, is it something solvable? Actually, there's nothing much to solve. Same thing, just that it is something that is more sensitive and touchy to talk about, and some people may not be open.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Then you move on to the higher scale, which is something that everyone has a lot of differing opinions about, because the information sources is even more different than religion. In religion, you already have different sources depending on your religion, but when you talk about your international matters, it's even worse. Yeah, because there's a lot more sources and political power at play here.
Yeah, correct.
Right? Yeah. And so when the ability to receive and understand differs so extremely, then it becomes dangerous to even like talk about it. People get angry, people get triggered when you state or provide an option that is like on the complete opposite of what they believe in. Yeah, and that's where you see maybe not even it's not religious beliefs, but like personal beliefs taken to the entire extreme. Yeah. So I think when we talk about the line, when is it drawn and when can we talk about it, or when is it something that is worth risking, to like stand up for it about.
Yeah.
I guess that depends on how you perceive these beliefs to be more personal or more objective. Yeah. For some maybe it's like way personal, that is like would you like, let's say it's a dangerous situation, would you kill someone to save your family? Like actually people have differing things about that.
Yeah.
Right? Like would you save it? Would you kill? Would you willingly become like, murderer to like, but you save family, it was a dangerous situation, blah blah blah. Yeah, so we come back to the societal rules around that. Right? Is it considered self-defense? Is it considered a crime?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it becomes up to society, right? Yeah. If society somehow in this parallel universe, society feels that even if you save your family, like killing anyone is a crime, then then it's like whatever, right? So it depends on the rules around it. Yeah. So when there's no rules around some of these international issues, and the rules are so flexible, suddenly the rules become rubber bands, can ban one. then how do you go about doing it? There's definitely more debate than usual, and it's harder to accept because now something that should be more natural or understandable or automatic becomes something that you can debate about.
Yeah.
Like killing children, or like children dying in this genocide. It's like, why do you even need to debate about it?
Yeah,
right.
correct.
So for some people it becomes something that is not so objective. It becomes like more personal. It's like, actually we can have our own opinions about it. Yeah. So beliefs are different. Yeah. I think the fine line is really, there's no Actually, the line is not fine at all. The line is very blurred. The line is very blurred because everyone comes from different countries and have different backgrounds. Yeah, that's why you learn so much from talking to someone that has a different background. Someone that studies in an international school or comes from overseas. Like when you talk, you learn so much. Yeah, even about normal issues. Like how do you buy food? Oh, it's even different. Like how we say eating here and tapao, it doesn't exist in overseas. Some places because some places don't have a lot of places to sit down and eat. So it's automatically like a takeaway. Wow, it's so different, right? Yeah, even simple matters like this, like the line is so different. Yeah, and yeah, so that's the only way for you to navigate and learn about the line and how blurry or how fine it is go and do it. Like really talk to people about it. That's when you learn. You learn more about the subject matter. You learn more about the usage of words, when to use it, when to not use it. You learn what triggers certain people. You learn what makes them angry. You learn what they can accept. And then you discuss from there lah. Yeah. If not, then like human on this earth but cannot talk is like, oh man, so painful. You have
Why are you here?
you have a mouth to speak and ears to hear and a mind to think and a soul to feel, but it's like you're not using any of that to connect, but just letting a medium do that for you
Yeah.
by like texting and all this, and it's so tough. It's so tough to do that. Then that's why there's so many arguments on social media, because you can't feel the person and like talk with you face to face. You know, all these things and the nuances get swept under like just text messages. Yeah, really, you get triggered by text messages on because
Yeah, that's why I don't like to message. 'Cause I don't
same.
know what
I
you
mean, I commit the same thing as well. Like people think, or like a lot of people think that Kelvin is so fierce when he texts. Like, is he being sarcastic? Is he like angry? I'm so scared. But actually, it's just texting habits, and that's why it's so tough to communicate lah. Yeah. But honestly, standing up for something, I think has a lot again to do with the environment. It shapes your personal beliefs that something doesn't concern me or something is very far away from me. The world will go on. Even if I don't do anything about it, it will solve itself. The question will find the answer itself. I don't need to. There's nothing I can do, in a well-to-do and first world country of Singapore. There's nothing I can do in my power. I'm having such a good life.
I'm just one person.
I'm just
like,
one person.
is it gonna make a
Oh, I have so
difference?
much money. Oh, but there's nothing I can do. Oh man, so painful.
First world problem.
Aiyo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what I try to do is just to connect with people over social media locally, and we actually met up to talk about it. And that helped, regarding the Gaza genocide. This was like I think like 3-4 months ago. I met up with a few fellow dancers that also stood very strongly on the issue, and we just randomly found a cafe on near Arab Street. Yeah, it was one of the posts that, hey, let's show support for Palestine by showing up in these colors in our clothing, and we decided to do that and take a chance to just meet up and talk. Because the next best thing to do if you are not doing anything is at least be educated and informed about what's happening. Like if you are not doing anything about this and you don't wish, and that's okay if that's what you believe you should be doing is by not doing anything, then at least know about it, because if it concerns the world, it will concern Singapore, and one day it will concern you.
Yeah.
And maybe it will help you as a person of this generation to learn something about it.
I think on that point, I've read this super good quote, like, we can ignore reality, but we cannot ignore the consequences of reality.
Yeah.
Like it will happen whether you are paying attention to it or not, and whatever happens from it will happen.
It may not affect you directly lah, but you one day you will find a thread that connects it together one.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Last thing. Absolutely last is knowing who to believe and who not to. Like, I mean, if we talk about social media nowadays,
Mm.
I mean, apart from like the skills that we learn from social studies, got to analyze the who does that on social media. Nobody does that anymore. Like, like, is this source reliable and everything?
You just take it and then you continue with the next thing that you do. We got time, right?
Yeah, because like nowadays, like, I mean, not recently, but I do realize that news sources are all biased depending on who is their funder, or who is you know in their
On their beliefs,
corporation.
on their own beliefs.
Yeah, correct as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think just knowing who to believe and who not to, and then also like I read this one uh idea by this guy Chris Williamson. He said something about a cynicism safety blanket. So basically what it is like an inclination to believe that people are motivated purely by self-interest,
Mm.
which is, yeah, you definitely can believe that,
Yeah.
right? And
So for those who are like listening and watching, like cynicism just means that you are just more doubtful about things in general. Not being a super positive, like everything will succeed kind of mentality, but kind of taking a slightly careful and maybe not careful but negative approach to like the realities of life. Yeah.
yeah, so he went on to say, like, on social media, like, fools feel clever by mocking bigger fools,
Mm.
right? And scoundrels feel virtuous by condemning bigger scoundrels,
Mm.
right? So we feel good simply by portraying others as worse.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it's good to criticize vile aspects of the world, but there's nothing more vile than doing nothing about it and convince others to do the same. Right. So that also hit me, like, sometimes, and I think that's one of the reasons why I also, maybe am not as outspoken to certain things as probably as other people,
Mm.
right? It's because, like, to me, it's like, who am I to say what is the right thing to do? Because I also am not perfect. I don't know what's the right thing to do, even though,
Yes.
yes, I know certain things are right and wrong, but
Mm.
like, having that self-doubt of, like, who am I to say this and this and blah blah blah,
Mm.
like, yeah, it's, I mean, not saying that I am a fool or a scoundrel as what he said, but, like, I mean, it's just that, yeah, like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean I guess the first thing is sometimes by like the lack of action is also an action. The lack
Ooh.
of a decision is also a decision, right? If someone talks to you and you choose and you don't respond, that's also on purpose, man. Like you choose not to respond, right? That's like the lack of, something. Yeah. So, I think when we talk about like, what am I thinking again? Suddenly got lost. What's the train? Train of thought, come back to me.
All right, we are back again from another battery change, and in that change we found a train.
Train of thought has come back. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah lah, I mean, just it's more towards, like, there's no, it's like chicken and egg,
Yes.
right? Like, there's no, in order to start, you just need to, have some logic lah, you know what is what is right, what is wrong, like, definitively. And if you are not, and you are starting, you should not say not care so much, but don't be afraid that you have to always be right.
Yes. Because if not, you'll never start. And for the people who want to start something, like, I guess you have to, I mean, of course, if there's information available, then do your research and know how many of the truths that you are finding in the information that you have is like objective or it's like more personal. Like talk to people around and understand what are the certain different mindsets, and then you form your own thinking lah, right? Then from there, then you are ready to say whatever you want to say, because you know that there is backing behind whatever you want to share. And again, you might never know when something is completely true or like actually false. There's no way for you to know. Yeah, and I think what kind of needs to shape your own belief is how much you do your own work, right? And that will help you to be confident in whatever you say or do lah. It's where confidence comes from. It comes from you actually doing and knowing and having that thing behind that backs up
Experiential learning.
your actions or your words, right? That's the best thing that you can have to support your own actions and words. Yeah, so beyond that, if you believe for something to be true, then go ahead and say it lah. Go ahead and support it lah. Like there's nothing how to say that is, I mean, other than committing crime lah, but there's nothing totally wrong with like like sharing your thoughts and your words and doing something that you believe to be right. Yeah.
And I also think I mean, we have that conception that being wrong is bad. I think being wrong isn't bad.
Depends on how you go around it lah.
Yeah, depending on how then do you like accept it, you take steps to, maybe learn the right thing.
Yeah, took a wrong step and fell down. Just be careful next time when you climb stairs. Right, there's like a lesson. There's like a reason why things happen. For you to learn a certain lesson.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So it's been a long session. I think the most common thing that came up was environment. Yeah, like where the things around you is number one, what shapes your belief, and number two, influences what you do. And again, also, I mean, on the social media side as well, it's like what you end up finding on social media is what you, in a way, are interested in. And what you're interested in usually comes from the things around you as well, right? What are your friends interested in? Confirm you're going to follow, and all that, right? So, yeah, I think if we are on this topic of belief, then I think everyone should just be more, like, maybe put your whole environment under a microscope.
Yes.
And then try to see, what is really happening and how much of it is really influencing you and how much of you is your environment.
This is so appropriate for like secondary school kids.
Yeah, I hope you're all watching.
This is like your circle of friends. It's like who, like, are they helping you to like become better? Do you enjoy your time?
Correct.
Or is there like always toxic stuff happening and like you got some bad friends in your circle, but you haven't really got around to recognizing them yet? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, not pushing people to be toxic, but like sometimes having that reflection or review of the environment is kind of important for your own health and progression and like safety.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. So take stock and review your life once in a while. Be aware, not just
more than once in a while.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, as often as you can.
So just scroll and wake up and then it's the next year.
Yeah.
That's too late.
Yeah, I think on that last one on the group of friends. So I did this recently with my kids in I'm not going to name school, my dancers. Yeah, so basically I did like took the time to do a one-on-one like reflection session with each dancer. It took me like 4 sessions. Yeah, and I think some of them I actually was very surprised to hear their drive, because that's not how they are like in the session, and I think in the spot I just straight away managed to connect the dots, and I told them, your environment, the people you are around, is affecting your behavior. Yeah, because the people that are around that they usually hang out with is the a little bit more chill and not as driven ones. And even though that person may be driven, is because they are around those people that then makes them unproductive and changes their beliefs of what to do in the moment. Yeah, so I think it's important to check your circle. I mean, it's not say cut out friends totally. I mean, if you have
Yeah.
like a connection with them, keep it,
Yeah.
but no set boundaries. Like if you know you have to be this certain thing at this point, then you should not be with these who don't help you in that
Yeah.
aspect of your life.
Friends are important, but just critical thinking with everything that y'all do or say and decide if you really support it. It's the same as social media, right?
Yes.
You're not gonna cut it out totally. Yeah, but just take a second look at
Correct.
whatever's happening and decide for yourself what you really want, what you really believe in, and don't let the noise of your environment kind of dictate or dilute what you personally believe to be true. Yeah. So go ahead and find out for
That's
yourself.
right. That's right. All right.
Yeah.
That wraps up this episode.
With
I'm-
some pineapple.
Yeah, man. Pineapple. I'm craving Hawaiian pizza.
Oh
honestly.
my god.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm hoping to have Kelvin back to talk about dance stuff.
Oh my
'cause-
god. There's totally non-dance stuff today. Wow.
Yeah.
There's no topic on that.
So
Amazing.
Hopefully we will do that soon.
Yes.
Yeah, but this was just one thing. Like I said at the start, I want to talk to him about because yeah, I really admire his like drive and
Vroom vroom.
assuredness in his beliefs and all that. So thanks for all the insight.
Mm.
I think everyone who's listened, are listening, they listened to everything, yeah, has also gained a lot. So thank you.
Thanks for inviting me on this podcast.
That's right.
Looking forward to be back.
Yeah.
Maybe next time with a slice of
We just put a pizza
Just put
here.
it here. And ask for sponsorship. Hey!
Correct. Domino's Pizza, Pizza Hut, and anyone. Yeah. So thanks for watching. This is Juan More Thing Podcast. Please help to grow the show by what's it called on Spotify?
Sharing.
Follow the show
Follow.
and share. I think sharing helps the most. So please
Yes.
help to share with whoever you think it will benefit. And hope to see y'all again and give you another interesting episode. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.